Hello students, welcome back to AriserTalent. I'm your maths teacher Arpita Sharma. Students, we are discussing a very new chapter today. We are starting a new chapter today, and which is coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry, right? So this is our chapter. Right? So first we will talk about what is the coordinate geometry, what is coordinate. So we will talk about it. But first here we will study, here we will understand that how it's so very important. Okay. If I'll tell you to just tell me that I'm having a dot here. Right. This point's position is what? You'll say that ma'am, it's on the board. Now on the board where? You'll say here. Now you understand that it's here. I can understand this dot is here, but if any random person walks in and we are having so many dots here on the board, now that person will not exactly tell you that where this particular dot is, or maybe at that particular time even you won't be remembering, even I won't be remembering that where this point was, and I was having some specific affection, or you are having some specific affection for this particular point, and we are having another points also all over the board. So the point is, how will you know the exact location or position of this point? So there should be anything na, that by that process you can identify this. Yes, this was our very point. Okay, let's suppose this is our board, because my complete board is not visible to you, right student? So let's suppose this is our green board, and on our green board I'm having here a dot. Visible to you? Okay. Now I'm talking about its location. So what you can say? You can say that ma'am, can we do one thing? We can just have this corner. Okay. So from this corner, that means this left corner will be meeting this line and measuring them. Now it is very understandable that after I'll be measuring this line and I'll tell you this is 3 centimeter, let's suppose, not it's looking like 3, but let's suppose, okay, 6 centimeter it is. Okay, so 6 centimeter from this corner, 6 centimeter away I'm having this point. Then you'll ask, then I may ask that, okay, 6 centimeter, a point can be here, a point can be here, here, also here, also here, also here. Which point? Then we are having two alternative of it. First thing is, you can measure this angle and you'll tell me, ma'am, this particular length and this particular angle from this axis, board's axis, you'll be having this particular angle, and this particular distance you'll getting the exact point. Or what else I can do? I can just draw a perpendicular here and a perpendicular there on this axis and this axis, this line, the horizontal line and the vertical line. So this is my horizontal line, yes students, and this is vertical line. Okay, so on vertical line, on horizontal line, I draw a perpendicular from that point. Now it's very easy to draw perpendicular, you know it. Okay, now I'll be measuring this length. Let's suppose this is 3.5 centimeter. And this particular length, let's suppose 5.5 centimeter, right? So now in that situation, that will be again 5 here, 5.5 centimeter here, and that again will be here 3.5 centimeter. Why? Because we have drawn perpendicular, so that will be a basic rectangle, and opposite sides of a rectangle are what? Equal, you know all this. Okay, so basically if I pick this corner of my green board and I'll go 5.5 centimeter this side and 3.5 centimeter this side, and will have a perpendicular right there, so that the meeting point of these two will give me the exact point on the board that I was looking for, you were looking for, and everyone else was looking for. Let's see, this this point is so popular. Okay, now students, you find out this particular thing. Now what is this thing? What is all these things? This is a part we call coordinate geometry in our mathematics. Alright, because basically we are giving something like this, two things. We'll get to know what these two things are. We'll having these two things, one is 3.5 and another is 5.5 centimeter, and with the help of these two things we are getting this point on this board. Okay, so how will we understand that? How will we call these two things? What we will call this complete thing? Okay, the complete system, what we will call it, we'll understand. Right, understood this thing? Okay. Now let's talk about the beauty of the coordinate geometry, how it is so very important. Students, we are having, our houses, okay, our flats, okay, and all their these fields, okay. So we are having that territory, and if you are having this particular portion or in a colony, right, this particular portion in a colony, this particular portion we are having something, this portion, okay, this portion we are having. So let's suppose it's plot number, this is plot number 1, this is plot number 2, and this is plot number 3. Okay, now the area is this, and the first thing is here, second plot is here, third plot is here. Now you don't know about the coordinate geometry, I don't know about the coordinate geometry. Okay, I was having the dimensions as 20 by 40, or let's suppose 40 by 60. 40 by 60 is the plot size. Now if you start this plot from here, you are having the second thing, the second plot. If you start calculating this from here to here and will build your home on this plot, is it legal? You have entered the territory of another one. Okay, why? Because you just randomly picked the point and then measured and then started to build. Is this the way? No, this is not the way. You have to find first this point, this point. Now it's complete a land without any mark. Without any mark. So how will you go on that? So there should be a mark that this is your what we call origin. So this is the point. From here, after these meters or kilometers, maybe whatever it is, after these meters you'll be having your plot starting right from number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so on. So from this point I'll take this 20 out of the first plot and we'll go from there. That 20 will be mine. Now I'll be making my house here, or you will be making your house here, and there will be no objection at all. So look how important is coordinate geometry. I am only talking about the houses, but when it comes to country, okay, and the all the words border, it's very important to have the basic idea, not basic idea but complete idea of coordinate geometry. And after that, okay, what we call it, we are having so many disputes with countries and all this thing. Why? Because of this particular margin, that this is mine. So this all started from coordinate geometry. Okay. So now you understood the basic idea of coordinate geometry. Now we'll go through the coordinate geometry itself. That how we are going to study. For sure, we are not studying it for making marking plots or making territory of India and all this thing. Okay, we are not going on into that. We are going to understand the basic thing. Now how will you understand? Let me give you a simple example of a paper. So I'm having this paper. Okay, so we are talking about this paper. Now it's having some centimeter length here and some centimeter length here. So I am holding it this way, and I am putting a dot like this dot here. Now I'll ask you that what is the location or what is the position of this point on this paper, right? Now what will you do? As I've told you, we'll draw perpendicular to this line, okay, to this edge of this paper, and from this edge of paper you will draw perpendicular here, okay. So this is our point. Understood? Now make it clear that this is 90 degree, right? This is 90 degree. This is our point. So what we did? We just draw a perpendicular right here, a perpendicular right here, and measured that what the length is and what this length is. And it is happened to find out that this length was 10 centimeter, right? And this length was 5 centimeter. Now, if I tell you to draw this particular point on this paper again, so now you can draw this. How? You'll have this 10 centimeter from there, so 10 centimeter here, and you'll have the 5 centimeter or here, so 5 centimeter here, okay. And then what will you do? You will have this line extended perpendicular, right, okay, and this is also perpendicular. Now you will get the same point, exact the same point here. Again, this is what 10 centimeters and this is what 5 centimeters. Now I'm getting the same exact position what I've taken before, okay. So this is how coordinate geometry works, student. Now is it clear to you guys or not? Okay. So I'll talk about our very first chapter, and that is number system. Okay, we understood the number system chapter very well, and I expect you guys to remember the number line. And number line not only we have studied in this class 9, but number line we have studied in our 8th standard also, in our 7th standard also, in our 6th standard also. So this is so basic that you know it. Okay, so what was the number line? Number line was a line on that we draw numbers like 0, okay. This exact mid position is 0. Now if I walk this side on the road 1, 2, 3, 4, then this is what? This is positive, okay. And then if I walk again backward, 3 step backward, then again the midpoint 0. And if I now move backward 1, 2 or 3, so this side that was what? Negative. So negative, 0 and positive. So mid is 0, this side negative and this side positive, correct? Okay. So let me mark it for you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. These were the exact equal partitions, right? So that was our number line. Now what I will do? I will just draw another number line, but this time vertical. So this is what? A horizontal number line. And now this is what? A vertical number line. Okay. Now this is vertical number line. So again there will be a 0 and then 1, then 2, then 3. Here again -1, -2, -3, right? 0, 1, 2, 3 and -1, -2, -3, correct? Now what will I do? I will just pick this 0, this line from this 0, and will overlap it with this 0. So basically I am meeting this 0 to this 0. So how will it be now? That will become this line here, okay, here, 0 will be overlapped by 0. Okay. Now, the 1, the 2 and 3. Again here, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. So, this is 0, 0 from the horizontal axis and 0 from the vertical axis. Now, understand it very clearly. I am naming this horizontal line. Be very clear, the horizontal line, I am naming it as XOX dash. X from positive. O. O, this is not 0, this is O. O. Okay, and that's X dash. Now the vertical line I am talking about, and this vertical line is what, student? Y dash. What? Y dash. So O is here only. Now I will write it Y. So this is O and Y dash. So Y dash and X dash. I mix them up and find out this particular system. Now this X dash, student, be very careful about it. This X dash was known as, it was known as the X axis. Which axis? X axis. So this is basically what? X axis. Right? And this Y dash is what? Y axis. Which axis? Y axis. Understood, student, this particular thing? I have created a number line, horizontal, and then a number line, vertical. I have merged both the number line on the 0 and very important thing, perpendicular to each other. What? Perpendicular to each other. So, here I can write that XOX dash is perpendicular to Y dash. Right? Okay. So, this is what I will call my Cartesian axis. Okay. And now, how will I represent a particular point on this? Okay. How will I do this? Understand. If I am having this point here, so basically this point is just the point after 2 here and here again in front of 2. So, 2 here and 2 here. So, how will I write it? 2, 2. Okay. Because I am having 2 here, so 2 and 2 here, so 2. Now, this may be a very little bit confusing. If I am having 1, 3, how will I show it? 1, 3. Now, it can be 1 here and 3 here. So, this point can be this, and it can be 1 here and 3 here. So, this is also 1 and 3, and this is also 1 and 3. But we are going to write the value of x axis on the coordinate first. That means 3 will be picking from here. So, from x axis, this is our first axis. So, we will pick this value and we will write here 3. Now, 1 from there and write 1 here. So, that will be the point, not this. This will not be the point. The point will be this. Okay. Understood this thing, that how will you draw a point? Now, we are having some specific nomenclature for each of them, right? Like this place and this place. That means this x-axis value. For now, I am using value. Okay. For this y-axis value, we are having some specific names. So, what are these names? Come this side. Right, so we are having this abscissa and ordinate. Right, abscissa. Basically, abscissa. Okay, so basically like this, abscissa. Right, and the second thing is ordinate. What are these? If I'll talk about abscissa, so abscissa is nothing but, this is what? Coordinate of x-axis. Very good. Right? And this ordinate is coordinate of y-axis. Understood? The coordinate of x-axis is abscissa and the coordinate of y-axis is ordinate. That means here if we call about this is what? 3 is what? Abscissa. And this is what? Ordinate. Here again this is abscissa and this is ordinate. So basically this abscissa is here and this ordinate 2 is here. For this point this abscissa is 3 here and this one is ordinate which is here. So these are the abscissas and these are the ordinates. Why? Because this is the coordinate of x-axis, so these will be called as abscissa and these are the coordinates of y-axis. These are plotted on the y-axis, so that will be calling as ordinate. Same for the negative axis also. These are all what? The ordinates. Ordinate here, this is also ordinate, this -3 is also ordinate. Similarly this is also what? Abscissa. This is what? Abscissa -2, -3 is also abscissa. So the points or the coordinates on the axis will be known as what? Abscissa, and the points on the or the coordinates on the y-axis will be known as ordinate. C, just remove the C and O also, ordinate remaining. So that will be of y. Okay, noted? Noted it completely? Okay, now if examiner will say to you guys that what is this complete system is called? Known as Cartesian system. This complete system is known as Cartesian system. Right student? Cartesian system it is. Okay? We are understanding the Cartesian system or the coordinate geometry, right? So this is the basis. Now, if examiner told us to draw or locate a point having abscissa equals to -5 and ordinate equals to 3. Abscissa is -5 given and ordinate is given 3. So how will you denote it and how will you show it? So denotion is what? Simply 5 minus 5 comma 3, because what is the denotion? Denotion is basically bracket, okay, bracket start, then abscissa, right, comma, then ordinate and then bracket close. So this is the denotation. So we will write it like this. Now talking about talking about representing it. So this is our O, this is X, X, O, X dash and Y, O, Y dash. Okay, now you know how to draw number line, horizontal and vertical. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Okay, similarly, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 here. Similarly, here again, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. Okay, and here again, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Right. Now, what I have to locate here is -5 and 3. So, -5 is what? -5 is abscissa. Now, abscissa will be on x-axis. So, this is the x-axis, x, O, x dash is x-axis. So, -5 will be here. This is -5. Okay. So, just have this perpendicular line. -5 and +3. So, which way? Plus of 3. Plus of 3 is what? Your ordinate. Ordinate is what? The y-axis coordinate. So, y-axis 3. 1, 2, 3. This is 3. Okay. So, because you are not having any perpendicular in this side, so this side. So, these two lines will intersect each other here. So, that will be our point. And you can represent this point by having a circle on it. Now, how will you name it? By writing the abscissa first. So, -5, comma and then the ordinate, that is given 3. So, -5, 3 is here. Now, you know how to represent a point on the Cartesian system, okay, or the coordinate system, okay, you know it now. So, note it. Okay. Right. Now, one more important thing is that this is x-axis, sorry, this is y-axis and this is x-axis. So, this is 0, this particular point. This point is what? What is the coordinate of this point? Coordinate means the abscissa and the ordinate of this point. What are the abscissa and ordinate of this point? If I ask you, what are these? So, you will simply call it that, ma'am, it's x-axis. So, on x, O, x axis, we'll find the abscissa, and the abscissa of this is 0 because it's located at 0. Now, I'll talk about y, O, y dash axis. On the y, O, y dash axis, madam, it is the ordinate, right? And the ordinate of this line, it's meeting here. So, this point is here and it's again 0. So, this point O will be having ordinates and abscissa is 0, 0, right? So, whenever we write any point like this point, it is, let's suppose 5 and it is, let's suppose 6. So, that will be, if I will given a name P, so that P will be what? 5, which is abscissa, and 6, which is the ordinate. Now, if I will talk about this point at mid, that will be O 0, 0. O is the name. Why it is called O? Because we call it as what? Origin. This is important. What will we calling it? This is our origin. And we can represent this O 0, 0. Understood this thing? Or the origin O 0, 0. This is O and these two are zeros. So, I can make it like this, more round one, and these are the flats one. So, this is what your origin is, right? So, abscissa and ordinate for origin is always 0, 0. So student, just revise what we have understood. We have understood the coordinate geometry, why we are studying it. Okay. Then we move towards the number line, how to draw a number line. After that, we understood x-axis and y-axis. Okay. And then we understood the abscissa and ordinate. And at last, we understood about origin. O 0, 0. So this was about today's lecture. I am concluding this very first lecture of the class. We'll meet with some more interesting theory part of this particular chapter in our next session. Till then, take care of yourself, student. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.